me, fellas!
All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. This video here is one that I meant to do for a while, but I finally got around to doing it, obviously. The 1996 finals. Now, I've heard people, Sean Kemp specifically, obviously anybody who's anti-Jordan is going to jump all over this like a dog in heat. Dennis Rodman actually deserved the 1996 finals MVP. And I just got to throw so much cold water on that. Sure, Rodman was vital and all that, but MVP, that's a big stretch to me. I mean, basing that on Dennis Rodman had a lot of offensive rebounds. And sure, that's important, no doubt about it. But more important than Michael Jordan's overall game? Yeah, I don't think so. And when you look at the Bulls, main offensive players, well, Jordan shot 41.5% for the series. Scottie Pippen shot 34.3%. Ron Harper, 37.5%. Tony Kukoc, 42.3%. And Steve Kerr, 30.3%. Now, Michael Jordan did not have a great shooting series. He didn't. But that doesn't mean everybody else had to suck too, but they pretty much did. So besides the field goal percentage, just the points in general. Now, obviously, Jordan takes more shots and all that, gets to the line. But it's going to be hard to make up for Michael Jordan getting you 27.3 points per game. That's just going to be very hard to replace. Scottie Pippen, 15.7. Tony Kukoc, 13. Ron Harper, 6.5. Steve Kerr, 5. So I don't know where you think that you could just simply, take Michael Jordan out and put some other shooting guard in and you're going to win, as opposed to taking Dennis Rodman out and putting in a different power forward. I think that's more closely to a recipe for a win. 3-point shooting of the Bulls. Michael Jordan, obviously, he's not a phenomenal three-point. He just doesn't shoot them that much. But 31.6%. Tony Kukoc was 31.3%. Ron Harper, 30.8%. So all those guys are meh. And then you got Scottie Pippen shooting 23.1% with Steve Kerr 18.2%. Who's going to win this thing for you? I mean, you guys are crazy. Like, most valuable? It's a joke, right? Only fools think that it was not Michael Jordan all day long. In game one, let's just look at game one. Michael Jordan scored 28 points. 9 of 18 shooting. That's pretty efficient, especially a very good defensive team that was doubling him the whole series. The formula was that whether it was David Wingate, Vincent Askew, Gary Payton, or Hersey Hawkins, whoever it was, they got up tight on Michael Jordan. If he got the ball, they were in his personal space. If he took a single dribble, a second guy was immediately coming to double. Immediately. Watch the film. I've been watching it. Believe me, that's exactly what happened. So in game one, Michael Jordan, 9 for 18 field goal percent there, 50%. 9 for 10 from the line. But the other side of it that I never hear anybody talk about, they're just going to talk about Rodman's offensive rebounds. Well, what about the fact that Gary Payton, Hersey Hawkins, and Vincent Askew, the three guards rotating in and out, they were a combined 9 for 30. So is Jordan going to get any credit at all for, his defense against those guys? Nothing. I mean, again, people just look at Jordan's field goal percentage. That's the wrong way to look at it. In game two, Jordan gets 29 points. He didn't shoot as well. He was 9 for 22, 10 for 16 from the line. He obviously just wasn't shooting well. You can blame it on Gary Payton, and the same people are going to say, well, if Gary Payton would have guarded him, you don't know that. That's fantasy land. And he did guard Jordan enough in the series. But if he's 10 for 16 from the line, he's just not shooting as well, at least in that game. And again, Jordan gets 29 points. Gary Payton and Hersey Hawkins combine for 29 points. So he's definitely holding up his end of the deal. In games 1 and 2, Dennis Rodman had 17 points and 33 rebounds. I mean, that's really good, right? The 17 points is even a little higher than normal for Rodman. Well, Sean Kemp had 61 points and 21 rebounds. So, I mean, to me, Kemp is outplaying Rodman. And the offensive rebound thing, the first 2 games in Chicago, Dennis Rodman had 14 offensive rebounds. That's excellent, no doubt about it. But guess what? Sean Kemp had 13 offensive rebounds, basically matching Rodman. So again, how valuable is he? You got a guy on the other team doing the exact same thing you're doing. Now, this is the crux of my argument, really. It's not about necessarily who played the better overall series, even though I think it was clearly Jordan. But for the actual finals MVP, it comes down to the last 5 minutes of the first half of Game 3. Because Michael Jordan did this.
Has a careless habit of giving up that ball in transition on the flow in the mid-court area. I think that's a bad mistake.
Pippen is blocked, and then stripped. Gronkowski, but with the strip, but threw it away. Now single coverage with Hawkins on Jordan, who goes right at him, and is fouled.
And then come out in the third and just really hammer down again. That seems to be Michael Jordan and the Bulls' approach today.
Clean, hard fouls, and we expect them. We got to be ready to take them.
You saw John Sally check in. So Sally with Longley and Kukoc up front, Pippen and Jordan in the backcourt. 16-point Chicago lead. Sean Kemp, who has been quiet, facing the double team. Here is Schrempf. Gronkowski. And knocked out of bounds. And a foul call. Gronkowski sitting down. Jordan now with 15 points. The Bulls 48 and the Sonics 31. And this Game 3 of the best-of-7 NBA Final Series. Game 4. Back comes Kukoc. Again, it's Payton on Jordan. Sally, played by Kemp. Jordan, yes, nicely done on the setup from Kukoc.
Mark, they just keep moving all the time. When one guy has the ball, they're not standing watching.
And there's nothing passive about Tony Kukoc here in the first half. Sean Kemp, 6 points now for Kemp. The Bulls 51, the Sonics 35.
Tony's one of those guys who responds to the challenge. A very competitive guy, even though a quiet personality. Harper out, he knows it's his day.
And Michael Jordan picking it up. He has 20 points. The Bulls by 18. Wingate comes on for the first time. Jordan being guarded by Wingate. Shoots over him. Yes. Oh, Michael is on fire now. 23 for Jordan. Foul was called on Sally.
It wasn't too long ago we were saying Michael Jordan, maybe he's trying to do a little too much. Well, hey, he's doing it. Inside, outside, everywhere. As he is really feeling it right now like nobody can cover him.
When we were talking to him before the game today, you could just feel that intensity just...
with the watch in his hand.
I wrote it in my diary.
That must live in the Southern Hemisphere.
Bulls with a 56-37 lead. Jordan. Yes. Michael Jordan with 20.
Stink it up. They get 16 points. with some deflated balloons behind the basket.
Good wide receiver.
Well, they did miss a free throw.
Final seconds of the half, biggest lead of the night, enjoyed by Chicago. Bushler with the steal. A 24-point lead for the Bulls, who are seeking to go 3 up in this best of 7. Michael Jordan leading the way, 27 points, 15 in the second.
Right there, the series was over. They're an insurmountable halftime lead that's 3-0. Now, delusional people might think that Seattle could get their pride up and win 4 straight, including 2 straight in Chicago. Yeah, I don't think so. You're not beating the 72-win Bulls 4 in a row. This ain't the 2016 Warriors, okay? This is a whole different animal. And Seattle is a legit team. Anybody doesn't think so, they don't know what they're talking about. They were deep. They were well coached. They were a very good defensive team. They had shooters. They had a really good power forward, a great, maybe the best defensive point guard of all time. I mean, they had a squad. Detlef Schrempf, a guy go inside and outside. They had a squad. Detlef Schrempf outplayed Scottie Pippen. And I still say Sean Kemp outplayed Dennis Rodman pretty much at every position. Gary Payton outplayed Ron Harper. I mean, go on down the list. You know what I'm saying? Luke Longley, Sam Perkins, probably a wash. But obviously Jordan played much better than Hersey Hawkins. But, I mean, you look at it, a lot of the Sonics outplayed the Bulls. No question. In my mind, it was over right there. It's 3-0, it's over. That won Michael Jordan the Finals MVP because of his performance right there. Everything else, yes, games 4 and 5, Seattle was playing with a lot of pride. Understandable, and I agree on that. Whatever went on in those games, the stats were irrelevant. Seattle won 2 games in a row. That's great. But they weren't going to go to Chicago and win a game. They just weren't going to. It was not going to happen. There's no way. I mean, you got to be some kind of delusional idiot to think that. Now, people talk about Michael Jordan in Game 6, about, he didn't play well, Well, Michael Jordan in Game 6 had 22 points. Obviously, that's low for his standard. But again, Gary Payton and Hersey Hawkins combined for 23 points. He's scoring himself as much as the entire backcourt of Seattle. Now, I understand Jordan is their top scorer by far, so he needs to do that. But he is doing that. And you look in Game 6, Dennis Rodman had 9 points and 19 rebounds. That's awesome. 11 offensive rebounds. Definitely helped them win that game. Now, they won by 12 points. I think it was, 87-75. But Jordan had himself had 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and was 11 of 12 from the line. So typical Jordan fashion, when his jump shot is not falling, he finds other ways to affect the game. And he played good defense. Like I said, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, 11 of 12 from the line. It's not exactly a poor game. He didn't shoot the ball well at all, no doubt. Look, the bottom line is Dennis Rodman was instrumental in the Bulls winning. Not just that series, but the 72 wins, in the playoffs, all that. There's no doubt about it. But you're telling me with a straight face that Dennis Rodman was more valuable to the team's success in the 1996 finals than Michael Jordan. Really? I think you're just so far out of left field. I could not disagree more. I mean, if they didn't have Rodman and say they had some other powerful, doesn't matter, let's just say, a solid guy, say like Derek Coleman. They got Derek Coleman instead of Rodman. Coleman's probably not going to get as many offensive rebounds, but I bet he does a pretty good job. He's going to offer you way more offense. Defensively, maybe you lose some. You probably do. He's a little bigger and everything. But overall impact, I would say it's marginal. What you're losing on defense and maybe some offensive rebounds, you're gaining by actual points. But then you look on the other side, who are you going to replace Michael Jordan with? Who you got? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to put in? Clyde Drexler? Are you going to put in Grant Hill? Yeah, I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. There's just no way that Dennis Rodman was more valuable. All predicated on Michael Jordan had his worst finals. No doubt about it. He did. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, the guy still averaged 27.3 points a game. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was some bum. But game 3, it was over. You saw the clip. It was over. He ran a clinic on him. Bye. Done. You know, whatever you guys do in the next couple games, great. You know, but that series was done. Jordan won it right on the spot. They should have walked right out of halftime and had David Stern give Michael Jordan a Finals MVP trophy. Here you go, Michael. You might as well have, because it was over right then and there. Anybody who doesn't think so has serious issues. You got Jordan derangement syndrome. But yeah, I mean, Rodman's getting you 7.5 points a game. That's actually high for him. But without Jordan, there is zero chance that the Bulls are going to win that series without Michael Jordan. It just wasn't going to happen. His defense, his shooting, obviously what he did in game 3 alone, all of it combined. Getting to the line, he was getting a lot of points by the line, getting people in foul trouble. Nobody ever thinks about that stuff. Sean Kemp was in foul trouble in a couple of those games because he was over there hacking Jordan. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Share the video. That would be really cool. If somebody, I haven't ever said that before, but if you share the video, I would really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Try to give daily content. That's it. Until next time.